Hey, welcome back to the bonus module within Inspire Social Success, the Retail Octagon. In this module, we're talking about online presentation. So I love going live online on Facebook. It is the way to go, especially if you've got a lot of products that are really unique, one-off items. It is so much easier and so much more beneficial to spend that little bit of time going live on Facebook and showing your audience out there what you have and letting them know that, hey, look, this is a very unique individual item. You can see what it is. And if it's clothing, you can put it on, you can wear it for them, showcase them, because they know, like, and trust you now. So they know that your sizing is what your sizing is. And if it's one size particularly, this is a very beneficial area to do it in. If it's a one-off, if it's a one size, going on Facebook Live is the way to do it. So this is a really good unit for retailers, especially selling clothing. So if this is you, grab this. Otherwise, just watch through and you can just get an idea of different online presentation things that I have to recommend. Models. So we want to consider how we're going to show whatever we have. So for clothing in particular, we can have like models lined up, like dummies lined up, and we can have the outfits on the dummies already. To showcase 3 or 4 outfits, for instance, you can be wearing one and then you can have the dummies dressed up in the same different ways. Like, so you can have mix and match, you can have dresses, and you can have them lined up. And if you want to, you can have numbers on them as well. So people can go, I want number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Have them so people can buy the whole outfit. This top and this bottom is. And no discounting here. We just offer them as a beautiful set. You can offer a little upsell. So if you buy this outfit, you get this free necklace valued at. Props. Props are a great thing. So especially when you're showing jewelry, when you're showing earrings, and when you're showing the goods inside your store, think about the lighting, how the lighting will affect. So there's a little bit of getting ready. Particularly when you're showing items within your store, spend a bit of time to get ready. And you know what, when you're merchandising and when you're getting ready, this is content to grab as well. You can time lapse getting ready. You can talk about what you've done to get ready. This is a whole post within itself. People love to see what you do to get ready. Don't just come in with the perfect readiness. Build that anticipation up so they're ready to watch when you're ready. Sound. Be really mindful of the sound. Make sure your mic is turned on. Make sure there's not too much outside noise. There's the music you have to be mindful of in the background. Facebook will mute out your music if you've got something playing out there. And people want to be able to hear what you say. Speak very clearly and slowly. When we're nervous, we tend to speed up. You can talk 1,000,000 miles an hour, race through your live, but if people can't understand what you said, is it going to be very beneficial for you or for them? They can get annoyed and just like scroll straight past you. They see, I can't understand anything Adrienne says. She speaks way too quickly. Last week, I was interviewing someone on my expo. I could hardly understand what she said. She was speaking so quickly and very muffled. I was like cramming to hear what she said. And it was a little bit disappointing. And, you know, I felt for her because she was telling me so much information, but in a really quick way. And it was really muffled. So it was very hard to hear. So be very mindful of the sound. Spatial as well. So you want to be, so if you're showing a whole outfit, you want to be where people can see your whole outfit. And you don't want your head cut off. I remember sometimes I would I had my laptop inside one of my bays, my display bays in the shop, and I went live and then I rewatched it and I'm like, oh my goodness, my head's chopped off. Take the time to get yourself set up. And when you go on live, and if you're not quite right, just let people know, hey, I'm going live. Oh, just a minute. Bear with me a second, and set yourself up and then dive back into it. You don't need to be perfect. And people like that. They like it when you are not perfect. They want to see how you get set up. They want to see all these behind scene things. It's nothing wrong with just going, look, I'm so sorry, I'm not quite ready yet, but get yourself ready and then keep going. There's your setup. We've talked about the setup. And now the setup is also consider where you're looking. When you're on your phone, it's really good to have the phone just a little bit above your eye level, not down here. Those people are going to see up your nose. I'll just say, not down here, okay? Up here, not too high up. Otherwise, you're just looking up here and you just bring it down to here. Actually, I'll put all the reels. I made a whole series of reels about going online, old school marketing, where to look, how to go live. So there's these things to consider. Have the light from behind your camera source. So you don't want to be looking into the light and, no, hold on a minute. Yeah, no, you don't want the light to be behind you. Sorry, I had to think about that for a sec. You want the light to be behind your camera. So there's these things to think about: where to look, the light behind the camera, so the light's lighting up your face, not too high, not too low, and just be mindful of how you show up spatially and what you're showing too. So take your time. Sometimes when we're really nervous on Facebook Live, we rush through things, and people. You got to imagine, if you say too much, they're not going to keep up and they're not going to follow what you say. You know what you're saying. And have you ever heard that sometimes when you're online, you've got to talk to people like you're talking to a 5-year-old or a 12-year-old? I'm not sure. It depends on your audience. So it's a matter of explaining things really clearly, because the online space can be a bit like that. We know what's going on in our minds. And when you've got people in front of you, like in person, it's a lot different, because they pick up more of your body language, or they're in your proximity, so they can really see what you're talking about, because you can point over there like this. So it's not because people are dumb. It's just because of this online space that we're in, that we need to consider explaining things in a much simplified way, so you get your message and your story across. So let's dive into the next area here. Practice. You can practice. You can even put that onto your story if you want to practice like that. But I do encourage you, just don't practice too much, because the more authentic that you can be, the better it is for people. The more they will connect with you, because you are a real person. They are real people. We are not actors, and we're not actresses. We are business people learning to use these new pieces of technology for our business, to market our business and to connect with those people. So be yourself. So don't practice too much. It is good to have a nice sign-on test, a sign-on line. And that's what I was going to say about testing. Test it inside a Facebook group with you and you in it. So you get used to, if you want to do that, get used to having that going live, you hit that going live button. So then you can concentrate more on what you are saying. So that's a good place to practice if you need to practice. Another place to practice is to just record yourself, and then you can video yourself. What you can do is also, you can listen to yourself. So when you've done a recording, you can listen to yourself without watching the video. Then you can watch the video without sound. And then you watch everything. You watch the video with sound and with your vision as well, visual. So you can see, and I know sometimes you go back and you cringe and you go, oh my goodness, I don't want to watch me. But then that really helps you become better at presenting, about doing what we're doing here online. We all started from somewhere, don't worry. Like when I started doing this 4 years ago, I was not confident on camera at all. Even this year, the last 6 months since I sold my boutique, I did this Retail Octagon program 6 months ago. And the recordings that I did were like, the first ones were like 2 minutes long, because I was just like racing through it and not confident about being able to speak like I'm speaking now. So that is practice, but I haven't been practicing behind the scenes. I have been practicing going live on Facebook, making lots of reels, making content on TikTok, and just that everyday consistency practicing really does make a difference. Okay, going right along here. Catchphrase. What's your catchphrase? Your sign on. So how do you sign on? Hey, it's Adrienne here. When I used to be in Vitamin Bead, hey, it's Adrienne coming to you live from Vitamin Bead. And so now I've got to make up a new one. So now it's like, hey, it's Adrienne here coming to you from my handmade house. I haven't quite got that right yet. So another thing that I have to work on, but we're always improving ourselves. So think of a catchphrase, have that catchphrase, and sign on immediately when you come on. Don't wait for Facebook. Don't say, I'm just going to wait for Facebook to notify some people that I'm live. Grab them as soon as they see you. Have your catchphrase that you say, and then dive straight into it. And let's get away from being salesy. Let's not be salesy. When you talk about the price online all the time, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. I've done it. That's where I started off. I used to start off saying, okay, everything's this glass of water is $15. This is $25. This bottle top is 10 cents. This piece, it's bloody exhausting, to be honest with you. It really, really is. So you don't need to talk about prices all the time. And then that's another thing to consider, is trimming down how much you show when you go online. Like if you're just showing one thing, one item, one product, then you only have to talk about one price, which is much easier. And remember, so just don't be too salesy. Like I used to go live all the time with a whole outfit, and I wouldn't even talk about the price. And then sometimes I'd have people waiting for me at the door wanting to buy that outfit. Or I'd see them later on going, how much is that, Adrienne? What you just showed, how much is that? And I'm like, oh, whoops, I forgot to say how much it was. Because when you're so passionate about your product, then it's not really about the price. It's more about the product. It's more about your passion. It's about how people feel when they watch you, and then how they're going to feel when they get that product or use your service and learn things off you. It's about how they're going to feel. So it's not always about the price. And please, you'll hear me say this again and again and again. I really encourage not to discount. And I learned that first when I first took up my first business coach back in 2014. That was a big thing. Don't discount. Don't become like the big chain stores. You're not a chain store. You are your own beautiful little business, and you deserve everything that you get, and everyone deserves your product for the price that you charge. So please don't discount. If you can avoid it, don't discount. You're hearing it from me here. Offer them something instead. And we did that in the last module, the offline marketing techniques. So you're hearing it now as well on the online techniques here. I can't wait to see some of your lives. Please tag me in them and I'm going to go and check out what you're doing. See, that's my sign off line. See you later.